2, 1.
So today's talk, living an empowered life, or the heat is on. So the heat is on in today's context refers to the heat, the fire, the passion, the fervor of the living spirit moving in and through and as you. And it can be ignited at any minute, if you would but flip the switch of engaging and embracing and empowering the life you are living. And I say the heat, the fire, the passion, the fervor of spirit living as you, as the truth, the spiritual truth of your being. Remember these statements. These are from last week's talk, and we really went into depth. Today we'll go even further. So the first one, it was, and it's a Rumi quote, "I am the mighty ocean in a drop of water. And as such, the power of the ocean is at my fingertips. I am a vehicle of concentrated God stuff." Hear that, you are. Concentrated God stuff. And as such, I have the power, I have this power at my disposal at all times. I am the formed expression of the infinite unformed. Because we know the consciousness, the energy, the universal law is unformed substance, which we give form to with our thoughts, with our actions, with our words. So that would be, as such, I have the power to form infinite, whoa, this thing is wild, infinite formed stuff in my life, events, circumstances. I am a singular manifestation of all that is, and as such, all that is me. And when I say me, I mean for each and every one of us. All there is me, is that God stuff, because we know there's only one here. And so if it's me, it's you as well. I am a perfect creation of the creator of all. As such, I am a creator. The question of this morning is, are you embodying these truths? Are you taking them on a deep cellular level? Are you remembering to turn to this power that is within you and use it, think it, speak it? Well, here are a couple of touchstones to help ascertain whether you are or not, so you can see where you are on this somewhat of a chart that I'm going to do. But just in your own heart, are you filled with energy, creativity, vitality, joy, and enthusiasm for your life? Are you grateful that you are here? Gratitude takes us everywhere. Gratitude ignites the joy. It ignites just about everything. Being grateful. Do you feel the power and the presence of God in your life on an ongoing basis? Are you manifesting your heart's desires? These are touchstones for you to think. Do you feel like you're living your life on purpose, sharing the gifts that only you came here to share? Only you have those gifts. We're all one, but we all are individuated, so we all have unique gifts to share with the world, if we so choose. If your answer to most of these questions is yes, then you've done a beautiful job of embodying your spiritual truth. Congratulations. And there's always more, right? There's always more. And if you answered yes, even most of the time, then you, my friends, have some very important work to do in this world. We all have a light to shine. We all have a kindness within us. Let's not forget that. Let's use that. Let's use that light and that kindness on this planet, everywhere we go, every day. When we wake up, what is the first thing we are saying to ourselves? Are we grateful? Are we grateful that we are alive and living in a planet of possibilities? Because we are. They're infinite. They're infinite. It's your responsibility what you know, what you have embodied. It's no one else's. What your gifts are, and to share them, as I said, with the world. Because ultimately, we must give back. We're always giving, just like the great I am, the great God, the great infinite, the great source of all that is always giving. That's creation. Giving is creation, so it's always evolving, as are we. Always evolving. So the only way to continue our spiritual growth, besides all these classes, all these workshops, all these lectures, is to give it away. To give away. Always giving, always in movement, always in circulation. And let me say that again because it's really, really important. When we get it, which means to embody it, at least most of the time, you don't do it all the time because we're going to have lapses. We're humans. That the only way to really hold on to that is to give it away because you can't hold on to it. However, if your answer was no, or not always, or, well, if you catch me on a really good day, maybe, to that series of questions, then you haven't fully embodied your spiritual truth. The truth of who you are. The spiritual being. You know, all of this humanity is what gets us through this journey of life on this planet. But inside, it's not even inside. It's everywhere, but we are individualized expressions of this infinite source of good. Just, that's the spiritual truth. And it goes on forever, which always makes me feel so good. It is endless, eternal. And if you're not sure of what your answer is, then listen to the words of a no-nonsense New Thought leader, founder of the Christ Universal Temple in Chicago, the infinite, and she is infinite because she's the late, Reverend Johnny Cohen, powerhouse speaker. She said, if you know it, you show it. And if you don't show it, then honey, you really don't know it. She was a woman of, I wouldn't say a few words, but powerful words, who knew the truth, who lived that truth fully and completely, and she still is. And it's really okay if you don't know it yet, because it just lets you know that you have some important work to do. We all have important work to do, and it will always be an inside job. There's nothing out here. Inside of us is where that work takes place. I can't say that enough. So wherever you are on that self-assessment review that we just did, I have a suggestion for each one of us this morning. A suggestion that if you follow, you can heat up your life with the passion of giving and serving or with the passion of self-discovery. It is a suggestion that is so simple, yet can be really a challenge to actually live, as most of this is, because we're influenced by so much, more than any other time in human history, I think, because everything is everywhere. I mean, all at the same time. Isn't there a movie? Yeah, won an Oscar for that. But it is. With social media, everything is everywhere all at the same time. But we stay centered and grounded in that knowing that we are truly beings of light. And I don't say that lightly. We truly are beings that can cast out anything that seems or feels like darkness. A suggestion that, if followed, will heat your life up. So, and this is the suggestion. Get about the business of being you. Embody who you are, because you're unique. There's not two of you. There's not two of you. There's only one. God doesn't have to repeat itself. There is only the one. And you are unique. Ralph Waldo Emerson, a philosopher and poet of the late 1800s, and a very influential writer of New Thought, actually. That whole movement that really was in full swing then, said, there is no planet, no sun or star that could hold you if you but knew what you are. And what are you? What am I? Not who am I? What am I? I am the mighty ocean in a drop of water. I am a vehicle of concentrated Godstone. I am formed expression of the infinite unformed. I am a singular manifestation of all that is. I am a point of light of the eternal sun. I am a perfect creation of the creator of all. Right here and right now, this is all truly who we are. So powerful. We are so powerful, and we, most of the time, don't know it. God is expressing itself uniquely in and through you. Isn't that wonderful? I think it is. Ernest Holmes tells us in Science of Mind, it's on page 391, the eternal has placed itself at the center of our being. The discovery of this, I love this, the discovery of this, the greatest truth about humankind, is the greatest discovery of the ages. And that is in his Science of Mind textbook, and I think it's one of the most profound quotes of Ernest Holmes. Greatest discovery of all time. Have you truly made that discovery? Do you truly realize the significance of that? Do you fathom the power of that reality? We focused on that question last week. Well, today we take it even deeper. If we did get this, as Emerson said, no planet, sun, or star could hold us, because that's how powerful we are. Not realizing who we are and the power we have right within us, we look around and say, gee, I wish I could be like him or her. Or, she's got all the breaks, he's got all the breaks. Why can't I be like that? I know none of us ever say that, but there are people, believe it or not, on this planet that do say that. And because you can, they're already taken. Remember that. There's only one of you. That one's already taken. And you're unique. You're wonderful. You're magnificent. You really are. Yes, take that in. I have a story to tell you. There's a beautiful illustration of this from the Tao of Pooh. And it's called the stone cutter. Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was once a stone cutter who was dissatisfied with himself and his position in life. He felt worthless and powerless. One day, he passed a wealthy merchant's house, and through the open gate, he saw many fine possessions and important visitors. How powerful this merchant must be, he thought, and became very envious, and wished that he could be like that merchant. Then he would no longer have to live this life of a lowly stone cutter. To his great surprise, he became the merchant, enjoying more of the luxury and the power that he had, more than he could ever have dreamt of. But soon, a high official passed by, carried in a sedan chair, accompanied by attendants, and escorted by soldiers beating gongs. Everyone, no matter how wealthy or influential they were, had to bow down before him. How powerful that leader is, the stone cutter turned wealthy merchant thought. I wished I could be a high official. And then he became that high official, carried everywhere in his embroidered sedan chair, the most powerful man around. If it was a hot summer day and the, wait a minute, yeah, listen, yeah. Okay, it was a hot summer day and the stone cutter turned wealthy merchant turned official felt very uncomfortable in that chair. He looked up at the sun. It shined brightly and powerfully in the sky, unaffected by his presence. How powerful the sun is, he thought. I wished I could be like the sun. Then he became the sun, shining down on everyone with all its power and might. But suddenly a black cloud moved between the earth and the stone cutter turned wealthy merchant turned official turned sun, so that his light could no longer shine on everything below. How powerful that storm cloud is, he thought. I wish I could be a cloud. So he became a cloud, covering up the sun wherever he went. But then the stone cutter turned wealthy merchant, turned official, turned sun, turned cloud, felt himself being pushed away by some great force, a force greater than he had ever felt before. And he realized it was the wind. How powerful it is, he thought. I wished I could be the wind. And so he became the wind, blowing tiles off the roofs of houses, uprooting trees, showing his immense power wherever he went. But after a while, the stone cutter turned wealthy merchant, turned official, turned sun, turned cloud, turned wind. The wind ran up against something that was immovable. It did not move. No matter how forcefully the wind blew against it, it would not budge. It was a huge, towering stone. How powerful that stone is, he thought. I wished I could be a stone. Then he became the stone, more powerful than anything else on earth. As he stood there, he heard the sound of a hammer pounding chisel into the solid rock, and he felt himself being changed. What could be more powerful than I, the stone? He thought, and he looked down and saw the figure of a stonecutter. All the power that is, all the power we need is right inside of us. Right inside of us. Not just in some of us, but in all of us. Every one of us. And like the stonecutter, we often think everyone else has it but us. Everyone knows the spiritual truth so much better than I do. It's not real. We are powerful beings, and we need to really embody that power. It's a powerful good. And the spiritual truth, my friends, there is no planet, no star, no sun that could hold you if you knew but what you were. Ernest Holmes tells us in The Science of Mind, the higher the sense of truth, the greater will be the realization of the uniqueness of our individual character and personality. The real self, the self that we were born in life, we came in with a personality. I truly believe this. We came in with this personality, and that personality will go with us. It's our uniqueness. But back to Holmes. It cannot be denied. The real self is God-given and cannot be denied. It is the place where God comes to the point of individualized and personified expression. Each of us is an individualized and personified expression of the one, showing up uniquely, with unique gifts, talents, ways of expressing it. And I love these words by the great Eric Butterworth. You do not have to beg life to be good or to bring good into your life. Life is like the sun. It shines on everything. But you must get out of the shadow when you think of yourself as being capable and creative. You do not make yourself capable and creative. You simply let the light shine through your innate potential. This way of thinking does not make the creative power. It simply attunes us with the power which is. And last week we spoke about aligning with the infinite allness of the pure consciousness that we can call God. It aligns us with it. And that alignment is the power when we truly embody that. When we align our thinking with our innate divinity and indwelling God essence, we are capable of consciously creating whatever our hearts and minds desire. Even when it seems like a miraculous manifestation. And some of our manifestations, they can seem miraculous, but they're not. There's no miracles in God. Just here on the human plane, we think it is. But we're aligning with the power that makes it feel miraculous. Let us remember there is one mind. That is God's mind. That is my mind. That is your mind right here and right now. Will always be that way. We tap into divine thinking. And we empower our lives with these glorious creations, because we are so much more than what we think we are. And so we can manifest anything we want. Teilhard de Chardin, a French monk and 19th century mystic, wrote, "It is our duty as men and women to behave as though limits to our ability do not exist. We are co-creators of the universe." Think of that. We are co-creators of all that is. And that is what I'm asking for each of us to do today. Behave as though limits to our ability do not exist. Those limits are here. They're not real. We made them up and we believed them. Those are the limits. Remember that you are co-creator of the universe. Remember that no planet, star, or sun can hold you from who you truly are. Remember this and let it heat up your life with passion. That great passion, with joy, with enthusiasm. And finally, remember, and this was written by Deb Whitehouse in some magazine a while ago. She said, "When the spark of the divine found in each heart is fanned into a flame, together we will be able to set the whole world on fire." Fire in a good way. Fire of peace. Fire of love. Fire of just kindness. We can do that. Let us always remember that we are the ocean and that drop of water. And never forget it. Never. So it is.
So it is.